Hello again. This video is going to be in English, total English. I am not going to speak any Hindi for this video at least. So in this video I am going to tell about what are the benefits of reading. Reading what? Books. Now what are books? Information that are recorded, analyzed, summarized, debated, non-debated, information that are recorded, analyzed, summarized, organized, debated, non-debated, jacketed, non-jacketed, which contains a table of contents, some bibliography, and which plays with the
अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो?
books and the benefits of reading books. At least for me, what I have found out and what I have experienced, I'm going to share my views on it. There's a famous quote that goes, "Read what you love until you love to read." I'm collectively identifying books as the storehouse of information, irrespective of their genre. So yeah, school textbooks, college textbooks are important as well. But what has helped me much is the non-fiction self-help books, self-help, self-help, self-help books. So coming to the benefits of reading, I feel the most important point for me is it has improved my English. Being an Odia, being from literally this down level, I was very immature at communicating. I was very underconfident when there were group discussions, when there were anything in which I had to say anything in front of public, in front of people. So I always had this problem of speaking English. I stuttered a lot. I stuttered a lot. Stuttered. I used to stutter a lot. I remember in the ending of class 12th where there were a lot of tests conducted, practicals, tests, all those they were conducted so that every school could send the marks to CBSE for the internal markings. I don't remember much, but we were told कि we need to come prepared with all the chapters of the books, of the English books. I'm talking about class 12, and the teacher would be asking some questions, ASL or something. So I remember when my turn came, there were few people at the room. It was like the teacher used to call anyone, any roll number, random roll number, and he or she would have to come near the teacher, and the teacher would ask him or her some questions, and he or she needs to answer it. When it was my turn, luckily it was kind of late. Like it was the ending part where I was called, and there were few people there, and with that few people, I stuttered so much that I literally did not have any more confidence to talk anymore, and I was very hurt that day, seeing some girls laugh at me. So yeah, these are the days. These are some of the moments that I have a hard time to forget, but it's okay. I got a lesson to learn, and now I can say that I have that much of confidence that I can speak in front of people without hesitation, without stuttering, because there are some of the rules that I've come to know while learning English textbooks, while reading English textbooks, that go slow. You do not need to be going fast. You do not need to be Rajdhani Express. Just go slow. And one of the tips that I myself have felt and applied, and I have got the result. The first time I read any book, for example, I'm reading a paragraph. At the first time, I go through the paragraph just for the sake of learning new words or learning English or reading fluently in English. The next time I read the same paragraph, I read it slowly to understand it. So the first time I go just overlooking them. The second time I go, I understand the meaning of it. So it's like it's like when painting a wall, you apply a layer of primer, then you apply the color of paint you want. Reading books have improved my English Coming to point number 2, improved vocabulary. Vocabulary is a set of words that you put up in your head that fills up the gaps while making your sentence. Like, she is beautiful. She is beautiful. I can fill the word, I can change the word with she is attractive, she is good looking, all those. So, vocabulary is the set of words that is in your head that you put up according to the need of of uh, of something that makes the sentence more good or more good to hear. When you are reading a book, it is better that when you find a new word, just underline it. Do not search into Google. Just try to match it with the next word and the previous word, and try to know ki what is the meaning of it. Most of the times it is synonyms of words. Like I said, beautiful, it can be changed to attractive, good looking, handsome, etc. So there are some of the words that you can, just by seeing, you can understand what is the meaning of it. But if you don't, just go through Google and search the word and remember it and put it into your head, put it into your vocabulary. Point number 3, reading books act as a sleeping pill. So rather than doom scrolling on Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, I grab a book, I sit down to read, and in no time I get the feeling of sleepy or I feel sleepy. So whenever I get to know that this is the time for me to sleep, I grab a book and I read it until Nidra Rani, the sleep queen, comes into my head and makes me feel sleepy. And that's when I know ki I need to close the book and I need to go to sleep. And I promise, I have experienced a lot more quality sleep from reading a book than when I used to doom scroll on Instagram Reels. So the next point is improved focus and stress reduction. So whenever I read a book, go into it fully. I go into it completely. I do not let any kind of distraction disturb me, which improves my productivity a lot. So what I do is I put in my earphones, I plug in my earphones, and I play binaural beats. There's music genre called binaural beats. There are some of the music for the brain. It's like a food for the brain. So if you or else you can literally search reading music to concentrate, or study music, focus music. These are very instrumental music that are specific hertz. I prefer 40 hertz or 50 hertz. 40 hertz is what is preferred. So I listen to those, which improves my focus a lot and my productivity too. And eventually it leads to less stress reduction. I have seen a lot of stress reduction in me. So these were the points I felt to share with you, the benefits of reading. Let me now show you what are the books that I have read. I like to read the books. So I like to read my books very slowly. I said the first time I read it for the English. The second time I read it for understanding. So the first book that I had, it is currently with my sister. The name of the book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That is by Dale Carnegie. These are all, I'm talking about all the non-fiction books. And the second book that I had is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book has a lot of money making skills, some of the skills that you need if you want to be rich, if you want to make money. And yeah, someone who is from a lower middle class, someone who has been raised by a single mother, this is the only dream, to see everyone happy around him, I have the dream to see everyone happy around me, to see my mother happy, to see all my family members. I want to see the whole world happy. And people who say money can't buy happiness, yep, money doesn't buy happiness. Money can buy the objects or the things that can make you happy, can fill you with happiness. So yeah, after this I have got this book and my current favorite book. the 48 laws of power. If you want to learn psychology, if you want to learn human nature, you need to get this book. This is a must read for everyone. This has got history books. History matlab, this has got all the synopsis or all the anecdotes of history. And Robert Greene, the author, has clearly mentioned or has very effectively mentioned what did the mistakes that have been made, what have the things that the person in focus in the story has done in the past, and what has resulted to him. So this is surely a must-read book, The 48 Laws of Power. And then I have The Psychology of Selling, Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Selling. I got this book. With this deep work by Cal Newport. These were a combined book. I got it from Snapdeal. Frankly saying, I have a hard time. I do have difficulty in understanding some parts of this book, so I have left it for some time. I have not read it completely. I have read it for just the English. I have read it for the English. I have not read it completely. I have read some of the parts of it just for the English, not for understanding purpose. But I'll soon go into it. So this is the psychology of selling. How you can sell people, how you can persuade people to sell something, and it is more like a psychological thing. Psychology, as it says. Okay, so the next book, where is it? I guess I had another book. No. So the first book I said, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That was the book. It is currently with my sister, and I recommend buying some of the books by authors that speak to you, like Dale Carnegie, the author of this book I mentioned, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was easy for me to understand. That was the first book I read and understood. I understood because Dale Carnegie, it is written as if the author is speaking to me, and as if the author is talking to me. So I got relativity. I could relate to it, and I could understand it very well. And the principles that it is in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. कितने बार बोला मैंने? So in that book, there are the principles that you need to apply. You need to read and apply, and you will surely get results. So I was so happy with it that I ordered a book for my mama. This book is in Odia. Because my mama likes to read books in Odia. So she is currently on an app called Pratilipi, where she reads some stuffs in Odia. So I ordered this, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, and it goes Chinta Chhadantu Sukhare Ruhantu. Sukhare Banchantu, sorry. Chinta Chhadantu Sukhare Banchantu. This is the book by Dale Carnegie himself, and it's an Odia translation of the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. So this is also an amazing book. I'll surely get into it. I have not read it, but I'll surely do.